While most comedians try to avoid cancel culture, Matt Rife seems to go out of his way to court it. His rise to fame came with viral clips, a chiseled jawline, and a growing list of controversies. From fake apologies to a feud with a 6-year-old, the polarizing funny man seems proud of the backlash. And for better or worse, it's working.
This is gonna get cancelable.
Rife's first public display of questionable behavior occurred on a 2015 episode of MTV's Wild 'N Out, the improv show hosted by Nick Cannon. In this instance, one of the most successful Disney Channel graduates was the victim. During a classic Wild 'N Out challenge that requires one person to hold a mouthful of water and try not to laugh at a comedian's jokes, future A-lister Zendaya was tasked with holding in the water, with Rife attempting to break her. But Rife's line of attack only had the effect of inducing squirms.
Look, you're mixed. I wanna be black. Let's make a lifestyle movie.
Things got even more uncomfortable when Rife clearly invaded Zendaya's personal space.
Spit that water out so I can get your number, please.
Even the comedian's own team members seemed taken aback by the gesture.
That was definitely a bomb. Not only a bomb for the audience, but everybody on the cast was like, whoa, chill, man.
Unfortunately for Rife, the offending footage also resurfaced online 8 years later, amid his more high-profile wave of controversy.
Man, you lost that, bro. Like, Zendaya probably unfollowed you. You gotta shoot your shot off the camera so you don't be embarrassed. Man, come on, white boy.
Not long after his flirty moment with Zendaya went viral, Rife found himself facing backlash for something more serious.
It shouldn't be anything illegal, but it should be borderline.
In 2016, shortly after his profile began to rise, the comedian was called out for a series of past tweets which ranged from the insensitive to the downright offensive. They included homophobic slurs, racist language, and multiple jokes about assault. And there were more than a few, so Rife decided to hit the delete button on the messages in question.
I'd say my biggest insecurity is the security in my career.
But by this point, they were already blowing up on social media. Instead of acknowledging the harm, he complained about the criticism on Snapchat, which only fueled the outrage.
Good luck. I wake up every single day somebody tries to cancel me.
Arts writer Louis Peitzman tweeted, "Matt Rife is what happens when you let people slide by on a really strong jawline."
I think I'm gonna be fine.
After mostly avoiding controversy for a few years, Rife reignited backlash in 2023 when he declared to Men's Health that his good looks had made his comedy career harder, not easier.
I mean, people don't want to laugh at like physically attractive people. Like, you don't want to walk on stage and have people looking at your arms rather than listening to your jokes.
Critics weren't impressed by the claim, but instead of backtracking, Rife doubled down, telling Today, "I would say it's harder because of the fact that this conversation is even happening. But the fact that I said it and I'm doing Men's Health magazine, which seemed like the perfect context to talk about the shape you're in, I would say it definitely doesn't help." Still, Rife claims that he's just responding to fan reactions, not that he finds himself attractive.
I had to be funny, dude. I was ugly as f for like 22 years, dude. Till I got my teeth done, oh my God, nobody would even look at me.
Having built up a sizable following, Rife landed his own Netflix special in 2023. And if you didn't know who the comedian was beforehand, you certainly did once Natural Selection debuted. Within the first 5 minutes, Rife sparked outrage. Describing the city of Baltimore, he told the story about seeing a restaurant hostess with a black eye.
Full black eye, and it wasn't like, what happened? It was pretty obvious what happened.
Rife claimed his friend wondered why they didn't have her working in the back kitchen to hide her face.
And I was like, yeah, but I feel like if she could cook, she wouldn't have that black eye.
Audience gasps followed, even among those expecting edgier material.
Just testing the water, seeing if y'all are gonna be fun or not. Just wanted to see.
Rife then doubled down.
I figured we start the show with domestic violence. The rest of the show should be pretty smooth sailing after that.
He remained unapologetic even after the backlash. Instead of issuing a retraction or acknowledging the offense, Rife stood by the joke. If you or someone you know is dealing with domestic abuse, you can call the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-7233. You can also find more information, resources, and support at their website. Rife may have been dragged for making insensitive jokes, but a humble apology was never in the cards. He responded to the backlash from his 2023 Netflix special by posting an Instagram story that read, "If you've ever been offended by a joke I've told, here's a link to my official apology." The link, titled "Tap to Solve Your Issue," led to a product page for special needs helmets. The move was widely criticized as mocking both domestic violence victims and people with disabilities. As Variety reported, Rife later referenced the backlash on stage at the Hollywood Bowl, sarcastically saying, "Domestic violence is not funny, ever, on any comedy special ever." It turns out even 6-year-olds aren't safe from Rife's scorched earth approach to comedy. In a joke from his Natural Selection special that went viral, he poked fun at women who follow astrology.
Just because Jupiter has a ring and you don't, doesn't mean that's who you're supposed to look up to for all this magical advice, man.
Well, a 6-year-old boy responded on social media.
It sounded ass rings, and it has more also, and you're mean to girls.
Rife reportedly fired back in a now-deleted Instagram comment saying, Jupiter also has a ring. Your mom buys you presents with the money she makes on OnlyFans. Good luck. The boy's mother, Bunny Hedaya, addressed the exchange in a TikTok that pulled more than 9 million views. She called out Rife for assuming that any woman online must be doing adult content work, which, as she clarified, she is not. In 2023, months after Rife appeared on the podcast Canceled with Tana Mojo and Brooke Schofield, Schofield revealed she had previously dated the comedian.
All of this time, I would see his billboard on Sunset and be like, I was literally like his biggest supporter.
At first, despite his stage persona, she believed he was the textbook example of a nice guy.
To anyone with like common sense, it's love bombing, but I had at that point lost all my marbles, seriously so.
Despite love bombing her whenever they were apart, Schofield said Rife avoided spending time together in person. Eventually, he told her his work schedule was just too intense for a relationship, and the pair went their separate ways, seemingly on good terms. That changed when Schofield discovered through TikTok that he had been seeing another woman during their time together.
For a man who doesn't have time, this man had the most time.
In fact, she later learned that there were at least 7 women.
How many times are you hooked up with your fans?
Rife may still have fans filling theaters, but his attempt to cross over into mainstream advertising didn't land. In 2025, he appeared alongside RuPaul's Drag Race alum Heidi N Closet in a parody ad for e.l.f. Cosmetics, playing lawyers in a sketch meant to spotlight so-called beauty injustice.
Hey girl, has overpriced beauty hurt your wallet?
Elf that.
But audiences weren't laughing. They were furious that the brand had chosen someone who'd previously joked about domestic violence. A brand rep issued a statement on Instagram, writing, "This campaign aimed to humorously spotlight beauty injustice. We understand we missed the mark with people we care about in our e.l.f. community." Still, the company kept the commercial online, despite continued backlash. e.l.f.'s chief marketing officer later told the Business of Fashion, "Obviously, we're very surprised. There is a big gap between our intention and how this missed the mark for some people. We always aim to deliver positivity, and this one didn't. So we find ourselves in a position where, quite honestly, that doesn't feel good for us." Since then, Rife hasn't landed another major ad campaign. You'd think someone with a Netflix special, sold-out tours, and more than 17 million TikTok followers would be grateful to the fan base that helped get him there. But Rife was eager to clarify that he doesn't cater to the women who largely built his audience. In an interview with Variety, he said, "That's one thing that I wanted to tackle in this special, was showing people that, like, despite what you think about me online, I don't pander my career to women. I think if people would just give it the chance without going into it and being like, oh, only girls like him, or people only like his face. If you give it an opportunity, I think you'd like it."
I feel like my comedy is more for guys.
He echoed the sentiment again on the BFFs podcast, acknowledging his female fan base while pivoting to a new target. He's now focused on winning over the men who never gave him much attention before. By 2025, Sydney Sweeney had become a favorite target for online outrage, thanks to viral PR stunts like bathwater-infused soap and a denim campaign for American Eagle that was accused of promoting eugenics. The tagline for the ad didn't help.
Sydney Sweeney has very keen.
So who jumped to her defense? Rife, who tweeted, "I keep seeing people mad at Sydney Sweeney for nothing. She's learning that the internet is full of absolute garbage losers who will twist anything you say into a misinterpretation. People are awful." Whether or not Sweeney appreciated the backup, Rife's post only added fuel to the fire and kept his name in headlines yet again.
You know what's worse than everybody knowing you? Nobody knowing you.